Okay then, it's time for the third in the series of battles where I'm on my own, and this time I said I was going to play as the High Elves, so I'll just set the battle up and then I'll get to the unit composition of the High Elves. Alrighty, so I've just set up the enemy team, and now I'm going to choose my composition. I figured I may as well include this in the video as well, and I give myself 20,000 just so I can use the majority of what faction has, and that's very important with the Elves in particular, because all of their stuff is very, very expensive, and really this is the problem with the Elves. What's one of the problems with the Elves is they don't really have a great deal of low-tier units that you can use as meat shields. I mean, the Sword Quindi are kind of that, but they're still 500, which is still an awful lot for the cheapest unit you have available, and the Linden Long Spears are kind of similar to this as well. And another problem that the Elves have is their units don't have a lot in them, which means while the Smiths of Eregion are very good units, and individually probably the best heavy infantry in the game, they will be beaten by units that are close in quality to them, but have much more in the unit. So the Guards of Khazad-dûm of the Dwarves come immediately to mind. And, you know, Gondor's Swan Knights could probably beat the Smiths in a 1v1 in a battle, just because there isn't enough of these guys. Which means you kind of have to mix them in with some of the lower tier units, but there isn't really any lower tier units in the Elven Army. So it's a little bit difficult to know how to balance the elves, and as a result you end up playing defensively as them all the time, because if you attack you can be outmaneuvered so easily by factions that have way more men than you. The orcs come immediately to mind, and I'm facing a lot of orcish armies as it is. I haven't given them full stacks because otherwise I won't be able to win, but you know, so I think, well, we'll have 2 smiths, I think, and 2 Mithlon nobles. It's important to have a very good archer force as the elves as well, so I'll give myself 5 archers. And I'm going to want a decent amount of spears, probably 4. So Eldar Enway units would also be probably a good idea, probably maybe 4 of them as well. I can give myself a unit of Eldar Enway Lancers as well, or maybe even 2. In addition to the siege that I should bring. Okay, I'm going to bring myself 2 Eldar Enway Lancers and a catapult. 20,000 is as many funds as you can expect to get as a single team, I think. And elves really are made for high funds games. If you're doing a low funds game as the elves, you're going to lose pretty much all the time, because you're never going to be able to fill out your army no matter what you do. Even if you bring mostly Sword Quindi and Linden Longspears, you're going to have to dip into the more expensive units anyway. So I have enough to upgrade some of my better units. I'll give them some of this. I'll upgrade my cab as well. I'll give this a chevron. I can give it 2. Excellent. Okay, so let's see how this goes. I'm playing on the Grey Mountains map, so there should be some interesting terrain I can use, as opposed to the last game I played as Mordor, where it was kind of just open. Okay, let's start the deployment. Right. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to deploy a bit further back. Use these slopes to my advantage. Right. To start with, they don't have any archers, so I won't need to set my archers into loose formation. These guys are pretty good. Kind of like the ranger equivalent for the elves. And the Sylvan Elves have got a similar unit to this as well, but we'll get to them. Right, well, I think honestly what we should probably do is have 2 spearmen at the front. Traditionally you'd have your archers at the front, but we'll go with that. Go for a pretty tight formation, I think. We'll have a unit of Mithlon nobles sort of making sure that they can't come in from the side. Yeah, that'll do. You can tell that each unit is just a lot smaller than Mordor in particular, obviously, but even Gondor. And Gondor's units, honestly, in terms of quality, are not that much worse than what the elves have to offer, and it's better to have the numbers in most situations. Like in a multiplayer game, playing with my friends, I have never once won as the elves, at least in that kind of multiplayer. I have won as the elves, obviously, versus the AI, and in a couple of other situations, but I don't know, the elves just don't gel with me particularly well. I do see the appeal though, particularly if you have the funds to make use of all their really good stuff. Right, I think it's probably a good idea if we... The catapult was a bit of a problem last time. Oh, there's a much better hill over there, isn't there? Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, but I'm off to the side, which means it's going to take years and years for my opponents to come to me. I won't bother deploying up on this hill. I'll just accept the... or should I? Yeah, okay. I'm going to set up on this hill. It's a really cheesy move to do in online. People would hate you for doing this, but I'm against the AI. As I've said before, the AI doesn't have feelings. So, who cares? Right. These guys are in guard mode, so they will be pretty good, although I think I should probably deploy them facing this way. New archers can go just in behind them. My catapult can point this way and attack this army, which I believe is Gundabad? Well, Mordor's in the middle. That might be Gundabad. Isengard is the smallest army, it's just the Dunman units. Right. Nope, can't. Here we go. Elder Enway Lancers are a good cavalry unit, but again they suffer from being very expensive and not a lot of unit models in them. So stuff like crossbows can really ruin your day. Maybe it's a good idea just to have you guys in spear wall, or shield wall as it is, to the side here. Guard mode gives me some nice protection on my immediate line of archers. Right, well, you guys need to be my reserve force that I can deploy at will. My Mithlond nobles, one unit of you can go here. I don't want you to get in the way of the catapult. And the other unit of you can go over here. And that just leaves my Elder Enway archers rather. And my smiths. Right, my archers are going to go here. You guys are on fire at will, are you? No? Okay, let's put you guys on fire at will. You can fire whenever. And as for my smiths, they can be more reserved back here. That's my general, that's not my general. Okay, let's start. Yeah, that's Gundabad. So Isengard are the furthest force away, which is good, because that's kind of like a traditional reinforcement group, where it's not as big an army, whereas these two are near enough full stacks. I made sure to give them a lot of infantry. I mean, they're gonna come in hard. So I'm actually going to move over my unit of Mithlond nobles. They're pretty good at holding the line. They're pretty good in general. Very tough unit. Not quite as tough as the Smiths, it has to be said. Right. When am I going to be able to fire down at you guys? Not immediately. I mean, honestly, this might be a blessing in disguise if I can set up my archers in a good way. Yeah, let's reform a little bit. We'll move my swordsman over a little bit. As soon as you guys are in position, we can moves them over. The swordsmen, in my experience, for both Elven factions, tend to be very good at dealing damage, but very fragile. And the spears are kind of the opposite. They can hold forever, but won't do a great deal of damage. And it seems to be a very profound difference between the two, which I just find kind of odd. Like, it's scary how... well, it's not scary, but it's weird how they both fill that role almost perfectly. They do look very cool though. The spears are probably my favourite part of the Elven factions in general, just because they are so good at holding a line, especially in a siege battle. They can hold a very superior force for a long time, considering there's not very many of them in comparison. It's going to take Isengard a long time to get over here. It's going to take the enemy kind of a long time in general to get everything together. Alright, considering Gundabad seems to be the biggest threat, I'm going to move my cavalry over here so I can get some hammer and anvil on them. So hopefully we can then move sort of and deal with the enemy from right to left as I look at it. Okay, let's move over a couple more swordsmen to be backup over here, because they do deal a nice amount of damage. Wait a second. If you guys could move up to there, that'd be great. Traditionally this is... the elves should probably do pretty well here. Better than Mordor would do in the same situation last time. Simply because this is kind of what they're made for. Whereas Mordor, less so. Ah, you can actually start firing, good. Or can you? No. No, stop. Okay. You're not actually in range, it's just saying you are, which is kind of annoying, which means I'm going to have to actually withdraw you a little bit because you're too close to the front line. Jesus Christ. It should only let you do that if you're actually in range. Move that over there, just orcs. Come on now. Holy shit, catapult. That unit pathing though. Okay, start firing. Why have you got flaming shot? I know the orcs break easy, so flaming shot maybe isn't the worst idea, but... Get the Mythalon nobles in there. I don't know how many kills these guys are necessarily getting, but you know what, you need to fire down on Mordor. They're over the crest of the hill, which isn't ideal. Fire at those guys. Orc Marauders, Snaga Stalkers. You guys move up over there. As long as I'm doing damage to something in significant numbers, I don't care. And that's a nice clump of troops. We can scarcely miss. Fire at the Orc Maulers. They must be up to a substantial amount of kills at this point. Right. Not perfect, but... nice amount of kills. They are going to try and wrap around. They might even get through that area, which isn't perfect, but... Okay, let's wait for a little while before we deploy. Right, you can... Oh, actually, think more orders. Perfect. Hammer and anvil time. Actually, you guys need to get into guard mode. Put the pain down on them. I don't know why I've got flaming shot enabled on all my dudes. Right, charge. Not the best charge, but... attack them. We're going to break them, I imagine, pretty quickly with our lances. Oh god, yep, they're breaking. Did I just kill my own men? No, I didn't. Interesting. There's a number on their right, those are orc halberdiers. Right, actually no, get out of there. Run. You guys are not in any form of formation, so we don't... Ah, wait. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. Need to get out of melee with the pole arms. Just run away. I really don't need them to kill the raiders. Not even deployed my smiths yet. Attack the orcs. Those orc raiders are coming for me, so I'll just charge my lancers into them. Not liking the look of those halberds though. Okay, let's go down there. That's a unit of smiths. And I am ripping through them. And it really does show that this is the sort of thing the elves can do extremely well. We'll deploy a unit of smiths over here, seeing as we've got our cavalry on this side. May as well do some damage to their maulers. What are these, raiders? What are my Mithlon nobles doing? They seem to be doing okay. You guys are in formation. Okay, well we may as well, those are all halberds. They're routing. These are all spearmen. I'm not terribly eager to engage, with my cavalry anyway. I think that was snugger. Something else to remark about the Elven Archers, they have a lot of ammo. I don't know whether this is simply because they have less in their unit or they do have more. But I think it varies from case to case, seeing as there is one Sylvan Elven unit I know has got more.
The enemy general flees like the coward he is. Press onward and break the spirit of his army.
There's more on guard. Keep coming. Right. You can charge into them. We are doing a considerable amount of damage at this point. I'm going to charge down the hill with a couple of my units just to make sure they stay routed. There you go. Let's remove their eager nature. What are you guys doing? No, 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 no. They're routing, don't worry about that.
For the moment, the fortune of battle goes our way. Let's pray it remains as
Yeah, I
such.
don't think we're in
Only
too
our
much
men
danger.
have slain the enemy general. Without
There
him,
goes
his
their
troops
general.
will lose their will to fight.
You guys keep fighting down that way. There is some Dunland units coming in, but they are not going to do too much, I don't think. Right. Tell you what, you guys can support the ones going down the hill. One of my swordsman units appears to have gone ballistic and has charged in.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Whoa, 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 what are you doing? Stop. Hunt down those routing troops. You guys charge in, support the smiths and the other swordsman unit. You guys are just idle. Shoot them all on guard. Oh, you gonna? There we go. Okay, kill them. We can leave guard mode and charge in actually. So can you. You can attack them. So can you. Yeah, routing. Time to use my cavalry down this way, I think. Because the Isengard reinforcements are on the way. Charge in and attack them. Let me get in there.
Behold, the enemy general abandons his men.
A considerable force down here, but my units are considerably better in quality. Okay, let's get some hammer and anvil on these guys. Fire into them. Fire into them. They are going to slowly die to my smiths. They're coming up here. Okay. They're going to get broken though because they're going through my archers. I think they're going to go for my catapult. Would be a good choice, but too little too late, I'm afraid. All of them rout. It's the good thing about being against the orcs. You know what? Get out of guard mode and shield wall and just charge them. Right, attack the veterans. We have not lost many. Much less than with Mordor, though that is to be expected. A lot of Mordor's army in general is just cannon fodder. They're shaken. They are going to get a hammer and anvil though. What we do not want to be doing is firing into our own dudes.
Flees like the coward he is. Press
No,
onward,
keep charging.
break the spirit of his army.
Turn around. Let's move up. Forces, we've broken
Behold how our cowardly
pretty
foe
much
runs.
all of them.
It's time to press the attack.
And that's it. Okay.
The enemy are utterly vanquished.
So they did very poorly. Of course,
This
this is
great
to be
victory,
expected. I didn't
worthy
give
of
them any
only the
skirmishes.
mightiest of generals.
But the Elven Archers really are going to be something that we're going to be using extensively, because it is not the strength they have, but it is something they certainly have over the majority of other factions. There's not many that can stand on a level playing field in terms of skirmishes with the elves. They don't have any javelins, but or crossbows, but even so, they're still the best in terms of composite bows. Really only Dale can say they're somewhat in the same ballpark. But the spearmen really are the main reason why I think I enjoy playing the elves. I'm just not very good with them. They hold the line probably better than pretty much any other unit in the game, and I don't know, like, I do like their heavy infantry, like the Mithlon Nobles and the Smiths, but they're just too expensive for not enough, like, battlefield coverage. Like, 2 units of Uruks, or just 2 units of, like, regular sword infantry, like something like the Dale Swordsmasters, they're fairly affordable. If you charge one from the front, one from behind, you're going to be able to break something like this, which is the biggest problem I can see while playing the elves. You need to be defensive, which a lot of people enjoy, but I don't know, like, it just feels like the elves don't have a lot of diversity in what they can do, even though they are very good at being that reactive force rather than an active one, like the orcs are. So the question turns to what will be the next faction I look at in this format, and it will probably be one of the 2 Easterling factions going back to the evil side, and it will probably be Rune, but it might be Harad. It'll be one of the 2 though, I don't know.